If you watch the UFC, you'll remember when this 15th century peasant came in and stole a win from Jared Gordon, such as the blessing of Dana White privilege. And then he doubled down.
Haters hate fans.
And trying to deal with the haters.
All right.
Leading to a consistent criticism annihilating large portions of his fan base. And it just happened on comedy, on Kill Tony, Hans Kim versus Ric Diez. Now, just a quick rundown on the show. Tony will pull a name from the bucket. That person comes up to do a minute of stand-up. If you're good enough, you might become a regular or get a golden ticket. But let's break down the contestants also, as it's really important to the story. So before Kill Tony, Hans spent 3 out of his 8 years doing comedy living in his van. Except from the rumors that this was a very nice van.
I started an open mic in a park at Zilker Park. I do it out of my van that I live in.
Oh, you live in a van?
Yeah.
Okay.
He lives in a pimp van, not just a van. He has a really nice van. And you put solar panels on your van today.
Yeah, recently, yeah.
I mean, when you kind of get called out for living in a van, something's going on. Like, hey, it's a nice van. Like, something's kind of weird about that. And he also has a degree, and many from the local area are saying that he comes from a really rich neighborhood. And at times he even mentioned on the show that his dad is actually rich. And I mention this because his story is consistently sold as this from rags to riches. And that's not really true. It's kind of misleading and done more for a sympathy vote. Like, his story is still impressive, at least in my interpretation, and it has its own unique merits. Easier to chase a dream with nothing to lose, rather set yourself back to do so. But he appeared on Kill Tony, coming in with strong sets.
I'm not a racist, but I did see a Arabic dude reading a book in Arabic on an airplane, which kind of freaked me out, but then I saw him fold the corner of the page and put the book away, and I was like, oh, thank God he's got future plans. I think my favorite Marvel movie would have to be the Black Panther, because it gave black children a hero they could finally look up to. And not just someone like Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, or Harriet Tubman, or Thurgood Marshall, or Rosa Parks, or Maya Angelou, Kofi Annan, Nelson Mandela, Jay-Z, Oprah, Jackie Robinson, Muhammad Ali. Now there's a fake person that dresses like a cat.
Then on his third appearance, he became a regular.
Would you be willing to be the new regular here on Kill Tony?
Yes, 1,000 times.
But with regularship becomes a lack of hunger, along with this safety net. What I'm trying to say is he became complacent. Victory had defeated Hans Kim. Now, Hans Kim, don't get me wrong, is a really good comedian with funny sets.
Like, most people who are racist don't even realize how racist they really are. Like, this one guy comes up to me and he just starts going like, 저기요, 우체국이 어디 있어요? I was like, dude, just because I look like this doesn't mean I speak your goof language.
But too often, many of the sets over the months were mediocre and lazy. The community was beginning to notice it, and even Tony was noticing it. Too often, he would try out material he's never used before or just came up with. And to give you an idea on how bad some of these sets were, let's look at his opening joke when Post Malone came on Kill Tony.
It's good to be here at the start of the race wars. There was a horrible incident in Montgomery, Alabama, where a black man was arrested for hitting white people with chairs, which I think is unfair because I've been watching white people hit each other with chairs on TV this whole time. I thought that's just how they said hello, you know, pro wrestling.
And it was sets like that which started a new segment of Kill Tony, the regularship challenges. And Hans finally came out swinging.
Just got back from Korea. If you thought we all looked the same before the pandemic, try telling us apart with masks on. I was living with the wrong family for 3 days. Come back to America and what do I see? Black Little Mermaid. One of the races that are known for being one of the worst at swimming. This is gonna get people killed. Look at me, mommy, I'm a mermaid. LaQuisha, no! Grab onto this chicken leg.
He won all 6 of the challenges, and in my opinion, convincingly. And it became a popular segment on the Kill Tony podcast. If Hans Kim isn't going to put an effort and he bombs, he's going to be challenged. And you can see that from Hans' channel alone, as they became his most popular videos. And he was cool with it. He was hugging his opponents, respectful, smiling, having fun with it. He didn't like it, but he was a consistent good sport, even cracking jokes after beating them.
It feels amazing to see Mexican people get demoted again.
And since being on the show, he's toured with Joe Rogan, Tony Hinchcliffe, he is selling out his own shows. I mean, Hans Kim, regardless how you feel, is a hilarious comedian. He gets great reviews, undoubtedly going to be a massive star one day. He's an unsuspecting, seemingly quiet Asian man who just hits you with these wild jokes, mostly sexual and race baity. And then you have his contestant, Ric Diez, who works at the EU in procurement and typically does comedy in Spanish, who grew such a love for comedy, he did it on the side, he obsessed about it and decided to go out his way to actually pursue the art. Because getting known as a comedian, even if you're funny, is hard. We all have that beloved comedian who just isn't that big.
This is not the America I was promised at all, man. Because as soon as I arrived, I saw something I didn't know existed, guys. I saw homeless white people. What? This guy was like, can I have $1? I'm like, I came here to ask you for $1. What is this? I was so amazed when I was taking photos. I'm like, wow. I need evidence. Wow.
But let's actually hear it from someone with experience who knows the game inside and out, like Bill Burr, when he was talking to Brian Holtzman, who's done comedy since 1988.
Is that what it is? Is that why you don't do the road? Because you are, to me...
No, you got to put asses in the seats, and I'm not there yet.
Okay.
And until...
Which I don't understand how. You're the funniest fucking guy out there. Like, there's certain people that are just great at the business and okay at comedy. And then there's guys that are great at comedy and then they're not good at the business. So yeah, you're not Do you ever try to get better at the business? Or are you content?
No, I'm doing now. I'm reaching out. I reached out to you to be on here. I reached out to Bobby Lee. And, you know, I'm the kind of guy that doesn't like to ask for anything. You know, I'm from back east.
What does that mean?
That means you just... You don't want to ask for anything. You just, you know.
How's that working out?
It doesn't work out very well.
So Rick decided to take the gamble and try and help his career, and he took all of his yearly holidays to then go spend a month in Austin in an attempt to get on Kill Tony. Just for the attempt, and to all our fortune, his name was pulled out of the bucket. And he got a golden ticket on his first attempt.
Ric Diez. Oh my goodness gracious. Here he is, everybody. Things just picked up. One more time for Rick, everybody.
All right. Well, okay. I'm here to bring the energy up. Oh, wow. A statue of me. I look like Spider-Man got bit by a normal spider. I went to the cinema last weekend and I forgot to put my phone in silent mode and nothing happened. Did you guys know that when cats know they're gonna die, they look for a very quiet and isolated place to die away from the other cats? Yeah, they come to my place. Yeah, I was in bed with this lady one time, and out of the blue, she pulls out a pair of cuffs, and she's like, cuff me. I want to feel punished. So I was like, I cuffed her to me. Thank you very much.
Wow. How would you like to perform on Kill Tony every week that you're here until then? By the way, his answer's about to be hilarious. He hasn't answered yet.
I'm overwhelmed with emotions right now. The answer is yes.
Like, Tony loved him, and so did the audience. Now, there's really not much to say about Rick that I could find out. He's just a really sound, introverted, likable guy. Oh, and he's really humble, truth be told. And I just feel like he just rolls with fate than trying to... I don't know, I like the guy. But you'll notice in his act, he plays one really heavy persona. It's kind of comparable to, like, Sheldon Cooper. And then he just masters the art of self-deprecating. I mean, every comedian is acting as if it was improvised. They kind of, they talk in a different way when you go see them on a podcast and then watch them do comedy. They dress differently. It's all crafted. And Rick just takes that to a whole other level. And it's difficult. I feel like if he fails the persona by not being awkward or anxious enough or is too confident in the delivery, it can be like, And taking that style to topics other than himself is probably really difficult. Like, his creative freedom is quite limited, but he's just an outstanding comic who's really fascinating. In comparison, Hans Kim is a very well-rounded comic, and Rick is this sort of specialist comic, and just both are just great comedians. And you'd think, yo, Rick has just got his golden ticket. His career is now set. He can just go and appear on Kill Tony, get to know all the other comedians. Like, right? But not really. Rick had his doubts.
You're a Kill Tony fan, right?
Of course, yep.
So you have seen every single, or almost every single previous golden ticket winner, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many of them do you see regularly on the show?
Just you. Yeah, that's a good point.
So what's the value of that golden ticket?
They have all the golden tickets they have to program, so they would have to make sure that they could put me on.
Right.
So it's never guaranteed.
Now let's mention the difference between a golden ticket and a regular ship. With regular ship, you're featured weekly, guaranteed. But with a golden ticket, you kind of have to ask beforehand, so it's not really 100% guaranteed, such that he couldn't even get onto the New Year's show.
So I asked, am I going to be on the New Year's Eve show? And the answer I got is like, well, we have to see.
It's also highly likely that a golden ticket winner can be voided a lot more easily than a regular. I mean, Hans Kim might have been voided for all the bad sets if he was a golden ticket winner. And if Tony actually took away his golden ticket, no one would really notice because we forgot about all the other golden ticket winners. And regulars also kind of get paid, which adds a massive sort of safety net. Basically, if you're a golden ticket winner, you're an employee without any of the benefits of the actual employees. You're like an agency worker. And although it could be the step before becoming a regular or filling in when one of them can't make it, to quit your job, move to America is way more riskier compared to if you actually were a regular. So for the love of comedy, he did a first in the Kill Tony storyline. He dropped the name of a comedian. He dropped the name of Hans Kim on an episode where Hans Kim just basically finished battling another comedian.
Because your jokes per minute are more I've heard than anybody that we've had up here tonight. And I think that Brussels is letting the rest of the country know, Austin in particular, that you guys got something special happening over there.
Well, if I judge it by my laughs per minute, I think Hans Kim would have gotten a run for his money tonight.
Whoa.
Oh, shit.
Whoa.
Oh, shit.
Whoa.
You need like a green card, or you can't like just be here every week.
My dad has an American passport. I could apply for that shit.
I mean...
And I would kick Hans Kim's ass.
Whoa,
just for the sake of
Jesus
it.
Christ. Oh my God. No idea you were interested in such a thing, but I mean, you're a golden ticket winner. You have a spot on the show no matter what, but it seems like you...
I feel like you're protecting him.
Oh, and next week, he went even further.
Yeah. I don't... does anybody here have a sexual bucket list? I can help. I don't have a sexual bucket list. I have a sexual bucket. And it's full of tears from Hans Kim.
Literally are a golden ticket winner. You get to be on the show anytime you want, but you would think that you would never guess, right?
I don't even live here.
That's not, he doesn't live here, and he literally wants to take Hans Kim's job from him.
That's what foreigners do. They take Americans' jobs. Are you still trying to protect Hans Kim?
Oh my God.
What?
Oh my God.
Battle drums, really?
I don't care about the regular spot. If he dies, he dies.
What? He had a great set tonight, but absolutely, Hans, sorry, bro. Next week, 60 seconds versus 60 seconds for the regular ship. It will be Ric Diez versus Hans Kim.
Then after all that trash talk, Hans Kim comes down.
Oh my God. My God. Let me tell you guys something. All entertainment aside, Hans absolutely hates the fact that I challenge him on his regular ship. It bothers him tremendously, but he does see the results week after week after week of the pressure. It's how diamonds are created. And here you go. You have this Ric Diez who for 2 weeks in a row keeps dropping your...
For no reason.
There's nothing funnier if you know him than a mad Hans Kim, by the way. What you're seeing is real. He's not an actor. Do you see that smile?
How would you like it if someone came to your job and was like, hey, I could do better at your job. I challenge you. A guy that I invited into my home, he played Catan with me and my girlfriend. I did a podcast with him, and these are what Europeans are like. Don't turn into this. You are American. You have a backbone and a spine.
I believe you're what, 6-0 all-time in challenges.
It's a padded record.
Why is it padded?
Padded.
Why is it padded? Explain to us why. I love that you two hate each other.
For people with less than 1 year of stand-up.
How long have you been doing it?
4 years.
Oh my God. Hans, how long have you been doing it?
10.
Oh shit. Look how pissed he is. Some of you might not be able to see it. Right now he's smiling, but you're gonna see it. It's gonna go right back to it. Watch, Rick, say something. Say something, Rick. Say anything at all.
Hello.
New Year's Eve, golden ticket versus regular ship. Wow.
And he is right. Tony, as we will realize, does protect Hans Kim. Hans Kim has only ever gone against mediocre, one-year-in comedians. All he had to do was not bomb. Even Tony acknowledged this after he bombed in front of Post Malone, where we actually need to give you a difficult challenge.
I'm a huge fan of you.
Thank you very much.
How does it feel having a rusty set in front of Post Malone, one of your favorite musical artists?
I feel like I'm post regular now.
Oh, shit. You know what I think? I don't know. I feel like you should have a hard challenge. I think we should scare some life into you. I think next week you should battle Casey Rocket for regular ship. I think we gotta do it. I think Joe just said that might be it.
I mean, even threatening a real challenge like Casey Rocket, who's this upcoming favorite comedian, very unique style, and he's beloved in the comedy mothership, he would basically win. I mean, it didn't actually happen for some reason. No doubt Hans went backstage like, oh, no, don't do this, Tony. I don't know, something happened because that got called off immediately. But so it begins, right? The greatest dork comedian showdown of the year, and everyone's kind of really hyped for this New Year's show. Everyone wants to get involved in it. The community is just, it's like the most viewed segment in every single Kill Tony episode. People are hyped for this. So here you have this comic who understands that it's a once-in-a-life opportunity.
So I asked, am I going to be on the New Year's Eve show? And the answer I got is like, well, we have to see. And I was like, well, I'm going to get myself on the New Year's Eve show.
You be thinking.
Because I'm going to go back to Brussels and I'm going to be forgotten.
Right.
I'm not going to stay in this scene and try to have other opportunities to be and meet people and network. I have to go back to my job.
Right.
So what can I do while I'm here?
Right.
To be seen.
Smart.
Does the fact that I go to play Catan to his house mean I should forego any professional ambitions I have? If I had asked him for permission before challenging him and he had said no, then wouldn't I be a worse person for still doing it?
Yeah.
I'm not saying what I did isn't selfish, but I also feel like it's not that unfair. Especially challenging someone who, again, is filling out theaters, has been on the show for over 2 years, is doing great, has a great fan base. He's a great comedian. I find him to be funny, edgy, and he's pushing boundaries in what he's doing. And I don't want to take him out of the Kill Tony family. That's not the purpose. I don't want to not be friends with him. I don't want to discredit him.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I've been given a chance where I was put in a position where I could do this, and I'd be an idiot not to do it.
And he's right, and it makes sense. Hans is often challenged, and let's be honest, he would have a bad set eventually anyway. And everyone's loving it. I don't think it's selfish. Kat is too new. William is the golden child. There's no point in touching him. He does a good set every week. I just don't think it's selfish. He's correct. He'll never have a better chance of becoming a comic, or at least making a name for himself, and he'll just fade into irrelevancy. And this is Kill Tony. If people are cheering, if Tony enjoys the idea, it's going to happen. That's what makes Kill Tony so great. There is no fairness. There is only fun chaos. You don't set the rules of your job, Hans. The audience does, and so do the random spontaneous factors that happen within Kill Tony. Now, Rick did try and make it 0 stakes when no one really loses. There's a rematch, a chance to reclaim the golden ticket. He was trying to paint out this arc that would be quite nice for both of them. But Tony had other ideas. He wanted fuel on that fire, and he wanted real stakes.
How's it going, Hans?
It's going great. I didn't know that if I lost the challenge, I couldn't perform on Kill Tony again.
Wow. Well, that must have been fun to find out seconds before I brought you on stage. That seems to be what the challenge felt like to me. I mean, it was originally him challenging you for regularship, but it seemed like you had nothing to lose if you lost. So it seems like a fun thing. Are you more nervous now?
No, I'm pretty confident.
And even after it was announced, the trash talk, the build-up just kept on coming.
How do you feel? It's been a week since you made the challenge and received what you wanted. How does it feel to get what you want?
It feels like I'm doing you guys a favor.
Yeah.
You're not gonna see me until New Year's Eve unless something happens in the meantime and you wanna bring me back. I'll be happy to come back. And in the meantime, if nothing happens, Hans Kim will have to dodge me the way that my dear Sean O'Malley was dodging Cheeto Vera for so long.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Why do you do this? Why do you cause problems, Rick? You're supposed to be an innocent, sweet little nerdy boy.
So if I was Rick and I said, Hans, you look like you eat pussy with chopsticks, what would you say?
I would say, Rick, you can't eat anything because there's a space between your teeth and you can't bite down on anything.
Oh, flag on the play. Flag on the play. Very controversial response there.
Yeah, it got weird.
He would still have, the teeth would still work. Some food would get stuck between, but he could still eat things.
I would say, Rick, you're a little bitch.
There we go. And he's back. And he's back. Saved it.
I made my career off of a desperate, sad comedian that tried to take other comedians down, and on December 31st, I'll do the same at HEB Arena.
Wow, I love it. It's incredible. Update the people if they don't know what's been happening on the internet between you two.
So on the internet, Ric Diez has been a little bitch, and he has about 1/10 of the followers that I have, and I blocked him, so I don't know what the fuck he's doing. I have been killing it. I have McVader on my side making me posters. I got random people just giving me posters with Ric Diez, like getting fucked in the ass and shit. I've been wildly successful. I've been making money off of YouTube off that clip.
Wildly successful. And you're selling out everywhere you go, adding shows to these comedy club dates. Incredible to think that only 3 years ago, sleeping in the van?
Yeah, not doing anything with my life, being a real Ric Diez.
So things are getting hyped, people are getting invested, nothing really seems off. Is Hans Kim annoyed, or is he playing into the drama? How real is it? Stay to find out. And then the day of the battle comes in. Hans Kim versus Ric Diez.
I went to a club and a lady slipped some pills in my drink. Vitamin D and iron. I almost fell from a building. I wasn't brave enough. I have stopped watching porn. It's memorized. I went to donate blood, and apparently you're not supposed to bring it in your own plastic bag. I have a little cat, and when I lay down on my couch, he comes and cuddles me, and sometimes he jumps right on my balls. It's so painful. It took me 6 months to train him. Over the course of a lifetime, the average human being takes 800 million decisions. 800 million decisions! So of course we're gonna take a few bad ones. And that's how I get laid. Thank you very much.
Now, Ric's set is good, especially first timing in an arena. He's never done that before. And you could kind of tell that his nerves were up. His persona wasn't as solid as it usually is. And he was shouting, like, you'd have a microphone, they can hear you. Either way, it's like an absolutely solid set. I absolutely loved it. And then he trashes Hans Kim.
1 minute, 17 seconds. We held back the bear out of respect for a golden ticket winner.
I went long on purpose because Hans keeps going short for the last few months.
Oh my God. These guys, what you're seeing is real.
And now in comes Hans Kim.
What's up? Holy shit. Yeah. Let's fuck this immigrant up. You know, a lot of people nowadays are saying that squirting is just pee. Fuck that bullshit. I think peeing is just squirting. I caught my girlfriend squirting in the toilet the other day. I was like, you slut. For a toilet? It's because it's white, isn't it? I think it's crazy that if you fuck a girl good enough, she squirts. That's like if you kiss a dude good enough and he started puking. You know, a lot of women feel safe around me. Hello? I don't think it's because I can fight off a rapist, but because I can ruin the vibes of a rape. Oh, you guys are raping right now? Hell yeah, bro. Cool if I chill? All right, that's my time. Thank you.
Honestly, I won't lie. I did kind of enjoy the pee squirting joke. It's kind of weird, but I thought it was quite clever as well. You know, the way he got a joke and kept playing off it. It's just not a bad set. The ending kind of flopped in my opinion, but overall it's a good set. But let's see how Hans reacted after his set.
Ric gets...
More complex, more intricate,
yes.
and bullshit, two-dimensional, 1940s comedy that we've progressed past. Try being yourself, bitch. Try being yourself.
Oh.
Who are you? I have no clue who you are. Are you this character? Are you this two-dimensional character, you little bitch? Be who you are. All these people are themselves. They're not a fucking European character.
Now the audience is laughing, they're drunk, they're in the moment, they're enjoying it, but Hans is 100% serious right now. Matt and Shane kind of know this, since they're like, and you know, Shane's kind of looking at him like, oh, you're not that guy, Hans. You lost, you're not that guy. Because to downplay someone who kind of beat you, it's like you're only diminishing yourself. But let's kind of see Ric respond.
Sugar Sean giving Ric a chance to respond.
Say it, brother.
He's the referee.
You failed to say a joke right now. You were just insulting me.
Yes.
It was quite interesting yesterday when you said that your girlfriend couldn't come because she was high on mushrooms. And I was thinking, that makes sense. I would rather...
Oh, wait a minute. Hans Kim cut off his joke. Sorry, guys. Come on, let's be honest, right? I know who won. You know who won. Tony's laughing kind of suggests that he knows who won. And the guests also know who won.
Who do you think?
Who do I know? It's not who do I think.
Yeah, who?
All right, I guess we'll see. All right. Rick.
Okay. Shane says Ric Diez. Matt McCusker. Things are heating up, ladies and gentlemen. The energy is
It was close. It was very close. But I surely thought the muscles from Brussels brought the heat.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Should have bet money.
Dude, and Hans isn't happy. This is the most open that I've ever seen his eyes. But let's now go to the audience's reaction.
How many of you have Ric Diez winning this? Oh, shit. Okay. Stop. This is that moment. How many of you have Hans Kim winning?
Now, there are comments of people saying Rick got more louder laughs in the audience, but Hans did get the louder "you win" cheer, in case the audio did a bad job of selling it. I mean, you might think, make it X Factor, make it Britain's Got Talent, run it through the panel. I know why they really picked the crowd, because, one, they're going to be biased towards Hans Kim. We've seen him, live, and we've seen him every week for months, if not years. He's kind of beloved by the community, because people didn't really know what was happening behind the scenes until these podcasts came out, okay? And the way he handled it afterwards was probably a bit people weren't expecting.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity. I love Hans either way. He thinks I hate it, but I don't.
Bye. Boring. Go back to your fucking Instagram.
Bye. Hans, any final words?
Get a good look. Last time you're gonna see him.
Ruthless. Cold as ice and loves his rice.
I mean, come on, they went in with Mexican drum-off rules, and we all know the people that won those actually lost, apparently.
We've gone with Mexican drum-off rules for this.
But it should be noted that Tony also took away the stakes and made it an extended leave. He is protecting Hans Kim. He really is protecting him.
And one of these guys' careers?
Well, I mean, at least it's going to give them
I don't want to fuck with it, but I don't know.
I'm going to have to give one of them at least an extremely extended fucking break after this.
Now, I will say, I do believe Hans is the better comedian, hands down. That's my opinion. I do prefer Hans. I love Rick, but if I had to make a choice, I would pick Hans as the better comedian. I just think Rick clearly had the better set that night. And from this event alone, the comment section has begun to turn on Hans Kim. And truth be told, if they both had really good sets, I wouldn't even be able to pick. But now, let's just break down the podcast interview clips, because those people in the comment section aren't happy with him already. And the chances are they don't know about this. As I've not kind of told you much about Hans, I've not really broken his perspective down too much. But prepare for him to become even more unlikable. Because that's the story arc, right? With all the explanations. So please do subscribe. It takes ages to cover this, from collecting all the clips and editing it and scripting. I don't know. If you subscribe, you'll keep getting good drama breakdown videos, or I'm going to revert to doing mediocre ones again. But getting into it, was the beef real?
I didn't even know y'all had real beef. I thought it was just like some...
I didn't have beef.
I thought it was just like some fugazi stuff until I was like, oh, this is real.
It was real for someone, yeah.
So what...
Now, Hans did have a post like this, and my question really is, aren't you angry at Tony for doing this then? You're happy to take it out on Rick, but it seems like that is how you would actually kind of like to take it out on Tony, yet you don't because you're too scared. I don't know. I find it kind of weird. Pussy? And Hans was also being absolutely horrible behind the scenes, which made people be like, is this beef real? And some people were like, oh yeah, it is.
Hans's parents don't like your ass. I mean, historically, Hans was telling everybody. I mean, it was getting really nasty after he kicked your ass out of the green room. It was getting super nasty.
Which time?
He was,
Oh yeah, twice.
He kicked you out of the green room?
Oh, we didn't stop hearing about it. Really? It was 2 times.
I haven't.
No. So on the 30th, he kicked me out of the green room. And on the 31st, I got there early, and I told the staff, I was like, I don't think he's gonna want me there, so can you find me a nice place to stay at? And I stayed on the street upstairs in the balcony with other people, like with Aaron, Bilal, and all that.
Hans kicked you out?
Yes.
Kicked his ass
crazy.
out.
Because I don't know how Hans has the authority. I guess he's been there for longer. He's open for Joe Rogan. But to start to, like, shout at someone and start being horrible to him behind the scenes, kicking him out of the green room, is sort of like, you'll never be welcome here. Even if you win and become a regular, I hate you. I hate you. You get out the green room. Like what? It's just so inappropriate. People are loving it. This is good for your... I know Hans Kim turned into the most toxic teenage girl you could imagine, trying to exclude Rick from everything, not allowing him to be part of a group, and just completely turning others against him and talking behind his back. To the point another person in the room took some friendly fire.
That bitch said Ric Diez sitting in the car outside in the parking lot. We'll jump Ric Diez.
We'll beat the shit out of Ric Diez.
Yeah, he's public enemy number 1.
We'll beat the dog shit out of Ric Diez, man.
But at the end of the day, when he lose, now it's all for nothing.
Yeah, and now he's known as the guy that did some weird shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
bro.
negative energy. You don't want those people coming out to
Cause
see your
I
show.
read this.
You know, he's like 47.
Yeah, he
He's old as fuck.
No way. I mean,
So,
I'm 40,
I think that's-
I'm 42, but I don't think I'm old. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you're wise and like
47
good
like,
about
like
it.
me.
So who knows what else was kind of going on? It's just disgusting behavior. But why? Why is Hans Kim annoyed? Well, he's kind of said it, right? It's kind of understandable. Hans Kim was annoyed at someone essentially coming for his job when there was no, I guess, premise for him to being challenged as he didn't have a bad set recently. Which is, you know, a paycheck and like a big publicity platform. And I get that. But the level of response was completely uncalled for, and the complete neglect of the story of Ric Diez, because Hans apparently has grown so selfish and spoiled and ungrateful. Okay, let's chill. Chill, Andrew, chill. Okay, so for a start, right, Hans was bombing consistently, doing half-assed sets for months. So I don't know how all of a sudden he seems to then care about his job, truth be told. It's like, oh, now you care, but you weren't caring then. He's also been on Kill Tony for years. Like, he's not meeting millions of new people each episode. You've already, like, gotten most of a fan base. You're going to be in the Hall of Fame. It's like the same way people can find David Lucas. There's not a lot more you can really get out of Kill Tony. Because even if he then leaves, like David Lucas did, he's in the Hall of Fame, which is, again, some publicity on its own. And no doubt he will occasionally come back on, such as David Lucas occasionally comes back on. And also, you're already selling out theaters. You're opening arenas for Tony and Joe Rogan that I know of. Who knows how many other comedians you have a connection to? Because no doubt if Hans Kim did a special, he's already got a solid 25 minutes of stand-up. You thinking Joe Rogan won't have him on, which will then lead to like Andrew Schultz, which will then lead to maybe Tom Segura and all these other people? You know, he's got the best kickstart to his career that any comedian would have begged for. That even if he stopped being on Kill Tony, it's like your career is set, my guy. It is so set. And if you really cared, no offense, you'd be smart enough to play into it and just give it the best you have, as it's a very popular moment for both of you. And even in the loss, you don't lose. That's a lot of publicity. It's going to be mentioned within the Kill Tony story. And to be fair, I'd argue, hot take, regulars shouldn't even be there for over 2 years. You know, they should kind of pass on the torch to the other upcoming comics. I know a lot of people are going to be angry, as that includes William, but unpopular opinion, I know. Or just have more regulars on the show and have them come on every other week. But I don't know, this is Kill Tony. It's all just kind of part of the chaos of the show. You don't make the rules for your job, Hans. Tony and the audience does. In my opinion, Hans has been the one who has been selfish. At the same time, I emphasize them losing his regularship and his paycheck, but Hans is almost already a millionaire, that Tony has already said, and Hans has got all these opportunities that have now opened up for him. It's just, is it really worth that level of response because another comedian wants to also get some shine in the spotlight, but it's like, hey, you're taking the spotlight off me, which I've already been, you know, glossing myself in for years, so can you, how about no? It's like, in a way, Hans, you're kind of like stepping down on other comedians also by kind of overstaying your welcome. I don't know. It's like, this is why you get many comments like Hans needs to go back to the van, because Hans does need to humble himself here. I just can't get over the amount of opportunity he is actually being given, how much of a safety net he's been given, all these different things. He's still beloved by the community. He's a great stand-up, but it's just, it's so, you know. And even now, Hans Kim thinks he actually won.
Going
It
crazy.
was a weird acoustic situation.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But no, I
acoustic.
think those jokes are fine. I don't know if they were the best. I think that they could be received in a better light. I don't think that it was as, one-sided as Reddit thinks it is. I think they're counting out a lot of what I was doing. I don't think that they're giving me a fair shot. I don't think it was that close where I don't think it was that blowout where Rick did that great, because he didn't do that great either.
Right. Okay. Cool.
And also, while this is going on, Hans is calling out his fans, just basically saying the ones that say he's lost and all that are just haters. It's similar to what Paddy did, where he's like, no, I didn't. You guys are just haters. You guys are haters. No, your fans love you, but we think you lost and we think you're being horrible about it. And we want to see you, change it around, and fix the mistake, rather than letting it persist and then continuously digging the hole deeper. We just think it's unfair what happened. We want you to fix it. You're avoiding what the fans were promised over your own self-gain and putting down comedians because you felt you were put down when you've done nothing but been lifted up your entire career right now. And just more trashing on Rick, honestly.
A better comedian than that person.
Right.
Just in terms of how often I hear that he bombs around Austin.
Right.
And supportive crowds too. He's not a seasoned comic. He doesn't.
How long is that? How long has Rick
4
been?
years.
4 years.
Yeah.
And how old is he? Do you know?
And it's just sad. It's like Tony turned this into an extended leave. There's no doubt Rick will probably be back on the show at some point, yet you're doing everything you can to make him He's been such an asshole. Anyway, this won't ruin Hans's career in the long run, but it's definitely going to stunt his growth in the short term, where people are just going to have a really bad taste. And no offense, did you even win, Hans? Because when people don't like you, it becomes a lot harder for someone to find you funny. But tell me what you guys think behind the scenes. Do you think Hans overreacted, or do you think Rick was doing something incredibly unfair by trying to do what he did? Obviously, I've given away my personal biases on the story. Anyway, please like and subscribe so more people from Kill Tony can see it, and more people can probably go and support Ric Diez. I'll try and put the stuff in the description so you can actually go and support the actual winner of the Kill Tony New Year's show. And maybe even Hans Kim will see it if this video goes popular enough, which I hope it does. It's more reason to like it. A nice stain on Hans Kim's career for the mistake he made. But either way, I actually have to go to work. This video is kind of rushed, so I'm hoping it's good enough. And yeah, I literally have to go to work, so bye.